Hello everyone, welcome back to the Six Hockey Studios. I'm your host, Elias Drakos. Today we are doing a special edition of our quiz. We are bringing back our quizzes this year, of course, for the summer. We are doing a GTHL edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We will have 3 contestants joining me today. It should be a lot of fun. Each contestant will have 4 different options to choose from based on GTHL teams, and they will have 3 different lifelines, including the 50-50, Ask Nathan Skopitz, and Phone a Friend. So without further ado, let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire 6 Hockey Edition. First up, we have a guest out of East York, Ontario. I welcome Sammy Brzezowski. Sammy, how's it going?
I'm happy to be here. I'm nervous, as you can see, but I'm just excited to get started.
I am too. And with that, are you ready to get going here?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's play Millionaire. This U16 AAA GTHL team uses the colors red, black, and white in their logo. Which of the following teams is it? Is it A, the Don Mills Flyers, B, the Toronto Junior Canadiens, C, the Mississauga Reps, or D, the North York Rangers?
Red, black, and white. Well, I know it's not the Flyers. I was a Don Mill Flyer, if that's the singular for it. Toronto Junior Canadian must be the color of the Montreal Canadiens. North York Rangers probably are the color of the Rangers. That just leaves the Reps. I have no idea what color they wear, but I'm going to go with the Mississauga Reps, and that is my final answer.
And you'd be correct for $1,000.
I was worried about getting the first one wrong.
Well, you didn't. You're 1 for 1.
There
so
we
far.
go.
Our next guest is from Thornhill, Ontario. I welcome Jared Rotenberg. Jared, welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Thank you. I'm very, very excited to be here. This is my first time back in the office from a little hiatus. I worked here 2 summers ago, took a little break, so I feel like my GTHL knowledge is a little bit rusty at the moment, but I can't wait to be here, and hopefully I even prove myself wrong. That's the goal, at least.
Definitely, and we will definitely see what happens with these questions.
I hope so. I'm excited.
Are you ready to play Millionaire?
I think I'm ready to be a millionaire, Steve.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, the $1,000 question. Here we go. This U16 AAA GTHL team utilizes the colors red, black, and white in their logo. Which of the following teams is it? Is it A, the Don Mills Flyers, B, the Toronto Junior Canadiens, C, the Mississauga Reps, or D, the North York Rangers?
That would be C, the Mississauga Reps.
Pretty confident you're locking it in?
I'm locking it in.
See his final answer, and he's correct. It is C, the Mississauga Reps. 1 for 1.
Nice start.
Our next guest hails all the way from Waterloo, Ontario. I welcome none other than the great Simon Hendricks. Simon, welcome to Millionaire. How's it going?
I'm good. I really want to be a millionaire. If you took a look at my bank account balance this morning, you would know that I need the money probably more than the other 2 competitors today. So I'm very excited. I don't think I'm going to do too well, but we are playing for real money, right?
6 hockey cash, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, are you ready to play Millionaire?
I am.
Let's play Millionaire. Let's do it. Okay, we start off with the $1,000 question. Here we go. This U16 AAA GTHL team utilizes the colors red, black, and white in their logo. Which of the following teams is it? Is it A, the Don Mills Flyers, B, the Toronto Junior Canadiens, C, the Mississauga Reps, D, the North York Rangers?
Okay. I don't like how question 1 is already kind of stumping me a little bit.
Your 3 lifelines, keep this in mind.
Yeah.
You have your 3 lifelines, the 50-50.
50-50.
I take away 2 of the 4 answers, of course, that are incorrect.
Yep.
Ask Nathan Skopitz. He can give you a hint. He doesn't have the answer, but he can give you a hint.
Okay.
And the Phone a Friend, keeping in mind if your friend does not answer, then it's lost.
Okay. I wonder who that happened to. I think it's B, the Junior Canadian. I think it's the Junior Canadians.
So you're going to leave all the lifelines on
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah.
You're going with the...
I don't think it's be smart to use my lifelines right now at the first question. I think I'm pretty confident with Junior Canadians.
You're going B, your final answer.
Yes. Oh my god, this is nerve-wracking.
B is the final answer.
Oh my god, I hate this.
Unfortunately, that is not correct.
Are you no? Are you serious?
I'm sorry, Simon, but the correct answer was C, the Mississauga Reps.
What the No way!
The Junior Canadians are red, blue, and white per the Montreal Canadiens. Okay. Let's go on to the $2,000 question now. Which team is known for its strong minor hockey alumni, including NHL players like Connor McDavid? A, the Vaughan Kings. B, the Toronto Red Wings. C, the Mississauga Senators. Or D, the Toronto Marlboros.
I'm going to go right away with this one. I'm going to go with the Toronto Marlboros.
Pretty confident in that answer?
I'm pretty confident in that answer,
Final
but
answer?
now I'm getting nervous. Let's say it's my final answer, yeah.
Locking in D. And you'd be correct as well.
Nice.
Yes, you
There
got
it is.
again.
There it is.
2 for 2 so far.
I got
Pretty
nervous
good
when you asked me if it was my final answer.
Well, we have to lock it in.
That's right.
Rolling out the sleeves.
I'm gonna lock in D, the Toronto Marlboros.
Pretty confident they're locking in D.
Are you gonna waste my time here? I'm very confident.
Okay, saying I'm wasting his time. Well, no time shall be wasted. You're correct. There you go. Very nice. Very
I like
nice.
this, I like this, okay?
2 for 2 so far. $2,000 in the bank. Let's move on to the $4,000 question now. Which GTHL U16 AAA team is known for wearing black and orange jerseys? Is it A, the Don Mills Flyers, B, the Mississauga Rebels, C, the Toronto Red Wings, or D, the North York Rangers?
It is A, the Don Mills Flyers. That is my final answer.
And you mentioned you played for the Don Mills Flyers earlier, so that's...
If I got that one wrong, I couldn't live with it, so I know it's correct.
And indeed, you are correct.
That's
yes.
right, it is.
Yes, it is. That is $4,000 in the bank so far, Sammy. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, 4,000, that's going to change my life, so.
Mr. Drakos, that would be Mitchell Marner's Don Mill Flyers. A.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Going with A, Mitchell Marner, Don Mills Flyers. Yes, you'd be correct. It is Don Mills Flyers. Flying
I'm
through.
easing into this a little bit. I like this.
Flying through it, of course. And of course, the questions are going to get harder from here on out. Which two Mississauga-based teams play at the U16 AAA level in the GTHL? Is it A, the Senators and the Rebels, B, the Senators and the Flyers, C, the Junior Canadians and the Rebels, or D, the Titans and the Rebels?
I'm going to go with A, the Senators and the Rebels, I think.
Final answer?
That is my final answer.
And you got it. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Those Mississauga teams, they scare me.
A little bit tougher. Mr. Drakos, I'm going to lock in A, the Senators and the Mississauga Rebels, where Jesse Fishman played.
Jesse Fishman, okay.
Went to summer camp with Mr. Fishman.
There you go. And A is the correct answer. You got it. Yes, the Senators and the Rebels. Very nice. Which of the following is not a U16 AAA team in the GTHL? Is it A, the Toronto Junior Canadians, B, the Mississauga Steelheads, C, the Vaughan Kings, or D, the Toronto Red Wings? And you have a big smile on your face, so I'm presuming this one may be in your wheelhouse.
This one is in my wheelhouse. I'm going to go with B, the Mississauga Steelheads. That is my final answer.
Going with B, very confident.
Very confidently, yes.
And you'd be correct. for
Yeah, I would.
16,000.
Let's go.
Still 3 lifelines here, Sammy. So you're doing really well so far.
Well, when I watch, Millionaire, I always know that they save it for the end, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty good strategy right there.
I'm going to be going with Owen Tippett's Mississauga Steelheads. B.
Going with B, very confident, locking in B.
I am locking in B.
You'd be absolutely correct. It is B, yes. $16,000 in the bank, 3 lifelines left. Which Toronto-based U16 AAA team wears primarily royal blue and white jerseys and is historically affiliated with the Toronto Maple Leafs? Another big smile on your face. A, the Toronto Titans, B, the Toronto Marlboros, C, the North York Rangers, or D, the Mississauga Senators?
I'm going to go with the no, I'm joking. Leafs fan, I'm gonna go with the Toronto Marlboros. That is my final answer.
Locking in B again as your final answer. And you'd be correct once again. As a Maple Leaf fan, I think you knew that.
That would be a tough, like, again, it's like the Flyer question. If I didn't get that right, it's just like, that's embarrassing. That one's in. I was born for that question.
Well, there you go. You got it correct.
There you go.
We're going to be going with B, the Toronto Marlboros.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Going with B. Pretty confident with B as well.
I'm pretty confident with that one, yeah.
And you'd be correct. It is B, yes. $32,000 so far. Pretty good stack of cash right there. We move on to the $64,000 question. Here we go. Which GTHL team famously had Shane Wright and Brennan Othman on the same roster before the OHL? A, the Don Mills Flyers, B, the Toronto Red Wings, C, the Toronto Titans, or D, the Vaughan Kings?
Now, Elias, if you had just asked me Brennan Othman, I'd be picking one out of a hat. But
Okay.
famously, Shane Wright played for A, the Don Mills Flyers. That is my final answer.
And of course, you played with the Don Mills Flyers as well. I guess. You ever play with Shane Wright? Or?
I was never even close to that good.
Well, maybe you didn't play with Shane Wright, but you got the answer correct. It is A, the Don Mills Flyers.
There it is.
That would be the team that my buddy Jesse Fishman also played on before joining the Mississauga Rebels. It's A, the Don Mills Flyers.
A, the Don Mills Flyers, going back to Jesse Fishman for a second time. And yes, indeed, it is the Don Mills Flyers. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Some may say you reeled in a big fish with that one, huh?
I like that.
I know it was a corny joke, but anyway, we move on.
I thought it was clever.
To the $125,000 question. For $125,000, since the 2002-2003 season, which U16 AAA GTHL team has won the most OHL Cups? Is it A, the Vaughan Kings, B, the Mississauga Senators, C, the Toronto Junior Canadiens, or D, the Toronto Marlboros?
This is the one I felt the least confident in. For those of you at home, I apologize. I can't imagine it's the Mississauga Senators. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of them in my head. I can't imagine it's them. So apologize to those in Mississauga. Oh no. I'm going to be honest with you, Elias. I might have to use a lifeline on this one.
Okay, so if you do, your three lifelines are the 50-50, the phone a friend, and the ask Nathan Skopitz. So you get to choose if you'd like to use the lifeline, when you'd like to use it.
I'm going to ask Nathan.
You're going to ask Nathan. Okay. Bring out Nathan Skopitz. Here we go. Just keep in mind, Sammy, Nathan does not have the answer, but he can guide you to the best of his ability. So I will pass the mic over to Nathan to help you out.
Oh, hello. Such a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I'm kind of stressed on this one. I don't think it's the Senators. That's the one that I'm like pretty confident in. So I don't know if that helps or if you know the answer.
Certainly does. I don't know the answer. However, I would lean towards the team that Connor McDavid played for.
That's what I was thinking, right? Because like it's Connor McDavid.
It's Connor McDavid.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
I would agree with you. I would go with the Marlboros.
Okay, Elias, I will be going with D, the Toronto Marlboros, and that is my final answer.
Going with D, the Toronto Marlboros, the reasoning being Connor McDavid played with the Marlboros. And you got it.
Let's
yes,
go!
It is. The Toronto Marlboros. So the Ask Nathan Skopitz helps out.
Oh, couldn't have done it without him. I'll send him a couple G's just as a thank you.
Oh, you may have to now. Oh my.
I'll say definitely a big jump in terms of difficulty. It's easy to say general history or things like colorways and whatever. In terms of actual team performance from, in this case, the year I was born, Gets a little dicey.
Well, we've gone up to the six-figure mark, so the questions have gotten quite a bit harder.
Oh, understandably. I know in recent memory, the Von Kings have been on a little bit of a run in the 2020s. But in terms of history, just knowing the fact that there was those McDavid years, there was the Jack Hughes years, the Toronto Marlboros are staring me blue in the face.
Literally, yeah. That's like again.
I think
three
it's
lifelines.
hard. It's hard to pass up that Toronto Marlboros team. I am not confident, but I'm going to go with D as my answer.
Going with D, a non-confident D with 3 lifelines left. Are you going to end up with $125,000 or nothing? We will find out. Computer, please reveal the correct answer.
Boom!
You got it. There you go. It
Not
is
confident,
D, the
but
Toronto
we'll take that.
Marlboros.
You like that?
A little bit of a risk there, but it paid off.
Okay.
There you go. The next question is for $250,000. Keeping in mind, you have 2 lifelines, the 50-50 and the phone a friend, and you may stop wherever you wish and take the money, as you don't know how your fellow competitors have/will have done. In the 2023 OHL draft, 86 GTHL players were selected. Which 2 teams from the GTHL had 15 players chosen to play in the OHL? Is it A, the Toronto Red Wings and Mississauga Reps, B, the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Toronto Marlboros, C, the Markham Majors and Don Mills Flyers, or D, the Vaughan Kings and the Toronto Young Nationals?
I'm gonna be honest. I think for this one, I'm gonna have to go for a lifeline again. I'm gonna go for the 50-50 lifeline.
You're going for the 50-50 lifeline. Okay. Computer, please take away 2 of the incorrect answers. Okay. So we're left with A, the Toronto Red Wings and Mississauga Reps, and B, the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Toronto Marlboros. Really a 50-50 toss-up at this point, but...
Okay, well, in the 2024 OHL draft, here's what I'm thinking. The Mississauga Reps and the Red Wings weren't really players because they didn't have as great seasons. The Junior Canadiens and the Marlboros, they were in the playoffs. So I have to imagine they had some, like, good future ahead of them or behind them. And since it hasn't failed me yet, I'm going to guess the one with Toronto Marlboros in it, B, Toronto Junior Canadiens and Toronto Marlboros. And that is going to be my final answer.
Locking in B as your final answer, Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Toronto Marlboros. $250,000 or nothing. Computer, please reveal the correct answer.
Let's go!
You got it. Yes,
Oh.
it is the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Toronto Marlboros.
Okay, that was one of the first ones besides obviously the Ask Nathan that I was really worried about.
It was a tough one.
Sure was.
So you have $250,000 right now. And we move to $500,000. You have 1 lifeline remaining, 2 questions. Let's see if you can do it.
I'm gonna use my phone a friend for this one.
You're going to use your phone a friend. Okay, keep in mind, if said friend does not answer, the lifeline disappears with it, unfortunately. So
what
choose wisely, essentially.
So what does that mean? I just lose my money right then and there?
No. Essentially, if they don't answer, then that lifeline is gone. So you essentially have to answer the phone. So hopefully you'll find someone who is going to answer the phone and you really know well.
I'm gonna make the attempt to call a former 6 Hockey employee, Jordan Jacklin. Let's see if he can help me out here, because if not, I could end up in some trouble.
Still 2 other lifelines along with that one, so maybe that'll help. But let's see what happens with Jordan Jack. Let's see if we put it on
I
speaker.
texted him to ask ahead of time. He didn't get back to me, so we are taking a major shot in the dark here, calling him up live on air.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Try if you'd like to try it again, you can. Sometimes that happens, so maybe try it
One
one
more
more time.
chance. I could end up looking
And
very foolish.
30 seconds, by the way. So once you start asking the question, 30 seconds from there. Let's see.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
And that is a tough look.
It is a tough luck, and that's pretty unfortunate that he didn't answer. So that's 1 lifeline, unfortunately, gone.
One lifeline
The
down.
good
I took
news
that
is,
risk.
the
I
good
knew the
news
risk.
is, you have 2 other lifelines. This question and 2 others. Keep in mind. So, will you be using another lifeline, or maybe another guess? Or will you just stop at $125,000? Is the other
No, I
option.
won't be doing that. That's against my very nature. Pure shot, another shot in the dark,
Oh
another
boy.
inconfident answer.
2 lifelines on the table. Let's see.
I'm gonna go with B, the Toronto Junior Canadians and the Toronto Marlboros.
Going with B, decided to leave the 2 lifelines on the table. Is it going to be $250,000, or are you walking away empty-handed? You got it.
Oh my god!
It is B,
We
the
needed
Toronto
that.
Junior Canadians and the Toronto Marlboros. What was your thought process behind that one?
2 very historic teams, one team based on, or obviously very similar in name to the NHL's Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, 2 historic franchises.
Yeah.
There was one answer that I was able to somewhat rule out. I don't know what the actual situation is with the Markham Majors, but I know in some age groups, I'm not 100% sure about the U16 level, but at some levels, the Markham Majors actually are not considered to be part of the same bracket as these other teams. So I was able to narrow out C, at least in terms of my own mind and my own thought process, but it was a 33.3% chance just with A, B, and D, and I happened to choose correctly, and I'm very thankful for that, luck being on my side.
Which team won the OHL Cup in 2023-2024 season? Is it A, the Vaughan Kings, B, the Toronto Junior Canadians, C, the Don Mills Flyers, or D, the Oakville Rangers?
Well, Elias, one thing that I've been proud of was how well I knew the 2023-24 season, and the Don Mills Flyers, they weren't that guy. Neither were the Junior Canadians, and so I'm pretty confident that the OHL Cup featured the Vaughan Kings and the Oakville Rangers. Something about it, the Kings were so good that year, but if I remember correctly, it's D, the Oakville Rangers won the OHL Cup in the 2023-24 season. That is my final answer.
Electing not to use a lifeline. You had your phone a friend, you didn't use it. We'll see, will you be heading with $500,000, excuse me, or nothing?
Eliminate the Oakville Rangers. What's between 3 options?
Keeping in mind still those 2 lifelines you have,
Yep.
maybe now's the time to use them, we'll see.
I'm gonna go with A, the Vaughan Kings.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer and a more confident answer than the previous 2.
Final answer, a more confident answer than the other 2. So, going with the Vaughan Kings, $500,000,
Yes.
nothing. And unfortunately, that is not the right answer.
That's unfortunate.
It is, and luck was on your side for the first couple, and unfortunately, third time was not the charm for you. And indeed, it actually was the Oakville Rangers, which you had eliminated first. So, yeah, that's a difficult one
Tough
right
luck.
there. But
Tough luck there.
and you left the 2 on the table there, so a little bit tough. But you know what? It was a good run. Unfortunately, you leave empty-handed, but it was a good experience overall.
you know, at the end of the day, when I worked here in 2023, obviously we were doing a lot of broadcasts in a pure focus on the GTHL. As a result of that, I didn't necessarily expand my horizons in my research to teams not part of the GTHL. I did know in that season the Vaughan Kings went on a pretty far run. That's the reason they were the team that instantly popped into my mind. And of course, the Vaughan Kings being a GTHL team, they're a team I have researched a lot and focused a lot on. I did not recall that 2023-2024 was a year that a non-GTHL team won the OHL Cup. And as a result, I hadn't really done much focus or research on the Oakville Rangers. Can't really name you players they had in that season. And as a result, I knew it was the Kings that went on a far run. I don't regret throwing that out as my answer, but just an unfortunate outcome nonetheless.
Well, listen, thank you, Jared,
Thank
for
you for
joining
having
us
me.
today here on the 6 Hockey Who Wants to Be a Millionaire edition. We move to the $1 million question. In the 2018-2019 GTHL U16 AAA season, the Don Mills Flyers famously went undefeated. Which team handed them their only tie in regular season play? A. The Toronto Junior Canadiens. B. The Vaughan Kings. C. The Toronto Red Wings. Or D. The Mississauga Rebels. You have a lifeline. This is the last question, so we'll see what you elect to do here.
I have a feeling about this one, but I'm going to get a lifeline to confirm this one.
And who is your expert today?
My expert is a former GTHL player. He knows a lot about the league from Toronto, so
Okay.
hopefully he can help out.
Okay, let's get him on the line here. And what's his name?
His name is Ryan Gillespie.
Ryan Gillespie. Okay, Ryan Gillespie. Here we go. Let's get him on the line here.
Hello?
Hello, Ryan.
Hello?
I'm currently on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I only have 30 seconds, and so I need to ask this question to you quick. I'm pretty sure you know the answer. In the 2018-2019 GTHL AAA season, the Don Mills Flyers went undefeated. Which team handed them their only tie in the regular season? Junior Canadiens, Kings, Red Wings, or Rebels?
The Red Wings.
You confident on that?
2018-19.
Yeah.
Name the teams again.
Junior Canadiens, Kings, Red Wings, Rebels.
Red Wings.
Okay, thank you.
4 seconds left on the clock there, so that was pretty good timing. Ryan Gillespie, confident in the Red Wings. Sounded pretty confident at least, but what do you think, Sam?
I think he's correct. That team had a lot of talent. The Don Mills Flyers had Shane Wright, if I believe. And the Toronto Red Wings, they had a lot of talent as well. They had Ryan Gillespie on their team. So I'm going to go with C, the Toronto Red Wings. And that is my final answer.
Locking in the Toronto Red Wings, C. For $1 million, is it correct? Yes, it is.
Let's go!
You got the million.
Woo!
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Great
Thank
job,
you so much.
Sammy. Well, $1 million.
Wow.
Gosh, you really answered all those questions. You used the lifeline strategically. How does it feel?
It feels good. I think I've been working hard on this for the past 2 summers to get this knowledge seared into my brain, but I couldn't have done it without Nathan, without a strategic 50-50, and without, of course, number 91 of the Toronto Red Wings, Ryan Gillespie.
And indeed, he knew the answer. That was the perfect time to use it, and you've won the $1 million.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to spend it all.
Congratulations. Well, there you have it, folks. Sammy Brzozowski has won the $1 million in this special Who Wants to Be a Millionaire GTHL edition. I've been your host, Elias Drakos. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.